Okay, I went back to working on that one big 25-inch doll. I was trying to, a friend sent me a pattern and I was trying to adjust it so I could use it for the 25-inch doll. I tested the bodice, I can't tell you how many times, but I think I finally came up with a bodice that will work on here. So what I did is I tested out the sleeve on the organza, and I got a pattern that I can pretty much work with. So basically it's just your regular sleeve pattern, and then I used the little cuff size down here to make the little turn here. So basically I just gathered it, I sewed it, and then I just turned it under, and it turned into almost like bias tape out of organza fabric. And that's how I fitted the first one. It turned out pretty cute. I thought it was nice and fluffy and it looked pretty nice. And then I went and put it on the, this is just basted in, it's not actually sewn in, but what happened was it doesn't fluff up as nice when it is embroidered with the design that I used. It could be because I used a different, thicker design on the, well, let me just show you what I mean. I mean, it looks all right, but once I glued the sequins, oh, what do you call these, the rhinestones onto the design, it sort of made the, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It makes the design not fluff up like it does without a design on it, is what I'm trying to say. And it could be the pattern of the pattern of the embroidery that I used, because it is a thick satin stitch. It could have been the way I glued on the rhinestones, or it could have been any number of things. But I'm thinking that once I turn the inside down, this just basted in, I'm thinking that once I put a finished edge on here and tack it down to the inside, I might get it to lay flatter, and once I finish off the edge, because this is just preliminary right now. But as far as what I'm using for the rhinestones, I went to an estate sale and I bought a whole box of the paper craft stuff, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to use it up. So like on those shoes I made for Jasmine over there, I used the glitter dots, and this is another one of those gemstone packages I got, and I thought, well, why don't I just use these, and it's a row of gray and a row of white. So but the problem with it is they all come with the adhesive already on them. So what I've been doing is I've been taking my fingernail, and see how you can see there's a whole row of adhesive still stuck here. I've been going in there and just peeling off the rhinestones, but leaving the adhesive on the plastic, and that's how I've been using these rhinestones up, because I don't do paper crafting. The designs were just so beautiful. Some of the rhinestones and designs I got out of the paper craft box, I thought, well, I know there's a way I can use these on doll clothes. So that's how I've been doing it. I don't know if you can tell or not, but the adhesive is still stuck on the actual, I'm just using the basic rhinestone. So there's the gray and there's the clear, so I'm just using the clear. So how I'm putting it on the fabric is I've got a piece of, this is just plain old wax paper. I've got my design. This is just one of the samples I made. I'm not going to use it on the doll dress because I didn't pull the fabric tight enough, and you can see how much crinkle there is between the design. And I even tried ironing it out, and it's not, I'm just going to have to make another one. But when I make the other one, I'm going to reverse the design for the other sleeve so that this flower will be exactly the same on this side. So I'm just going to reverse the design on my sewing machine, which you can just flip it. You know, you just use that layout, and then you can just flip the design so it will be opposite of what the other sleeve would be. Okay, so as far as getting the rhinestones on here, I've been using the Jewlet by Allene's. I bought this at Hobby Lobby. It's $2.99. The instructions say to put it on your fabric and then wait 10 minutes before you apply the rhinestone. It says put the glue and let it set 10 minutes before applying the metal or the glass embellishment. I tried that, and what happened was it was dried by the time I got it done. So what I've been doing is putting it on, and as soon as I get it on the fabric, I've been applying the rhinestone. So what I've been using is a pair of tweezers. So you know, you can have better tweezers, but those are working for me. So what I've been doing, I just did a dab of glue on the side of the wax paper. Just let it sit just like that, a little dab. You don't need much. And then I've been using a dental tool, but you can use a clay tool, just any kind of tool, because all you want to do is scoop up a little bit of this glue on your tip and put it on your fabric. So I hope you can see this, but anyway, I'm just putting a little bit of glue on my fabric, and I'm dabbing it exactly where I want the rhinestone. And if you want to, you can let it sit for a few minutes, but don't go for the whole 10, otherwise you're never going to, it's going to be dried by the time you're done with it. So then pick up your, you can use your hands if you have, if you're really nimble, and then you just put the rhinestone on there, and you can press it down. And what they say to do is have the glue seep around the edge. It dries clear, so basically that's how I did that. And I went all the way around and did all of them until I, and then where, even though this isn't actually a flower or a pistil on a flower, I put a, right in the middle of the cross here, a little sparkle. I put it right in the middle of the sparkle here to give it a nice variety. So I have more rhinestones. So I did that. Okay. So then you just let it sit for a while and wipe your tools off so they don't get all filled with glue. But anyway, that's how I did it on this sleeve. I just did it the same way and got all my rhinestones in there. And then there's the stars I was talking about. And what it looks like on the other side is, here's the first one I tried. This was that, when I've attempted to do a embroidery design on Organza, this was the design I used. This is one of the presets in the machine. So I put, between all of the blue flowers, I put a little rhinestone in the center. And this is what it looks like on the back. You can see the metal through the organza on the back. But you can see how the glue dries clear. And they say once it's dried, you can wash your, it says you're allowed to wash your clothing or whatever you embellished 7 to 10 days after you applied all the glue. It works pretty good. I'm impressed with it. I think it turned out really nice, and I went and I not only had to sew this together, I basted it into the bodice, and I even pressed it a little bit, and the rhinestones held really nicely. I didn't lose a one, so it works pretty good. I think by the time I finish the dress and get the rhinestones around the bottom, I should be in pretty good shape. The fabric in here is some kind of a white wedding fabric. I'm not even sure what it's called. It's a very soft silk. I don't even know. I got it somewhere at an estate sale, but somebody was going to make a wedding gown, and they sold a whole bag of fabric for a little bit. But here's what I mean about the attempts I made. I did the first one I put the darts straight across, and what happened was by the time I get the sleeve in, it's just barely going to be enough room between the dart and the sleeve. So what I did this time is I moved the dart down and went up a little bit. I had to adjust the side of the pattern though to make that work. But here's some of my test subjects. But that's how I designed it. I did think I might have gone a little too wide back here on the shoulders, but I think by the time I get the zipper in and the collar in, it'll be okay. And I did bring the neckline down a little bit from this one here. But anyway, that's where I'm at on the, oh, I just got a bunch of, I just put my finger in the glue. But that's where I'm at on that 25-inch doll dress. But, so where's that white fabric? Here's what it looks like with that being in there. And that's where the sequins go. But it's pretty simple. You know, just find any kind of tool that you can just dot where you want your sequins and just lay them on, let them dry, and you'll get a beautiful design. In fact, these rhinestones might be a little bit too big for this design, but I'm just using up what I have. But anyway, that's where that's at. Okay, so I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.